Dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you. Now we move on to our second lesson. The title of the lesson is The Elixir of Life. This particular prose or essay is written by C.V. Raman. You know what is elixir? Elixir is Amrita. You know, Amrita is the divine food that the gods eat in heaven, isn't it? So once you eat that, you will never die. That is the belief. Okay, now we are going to see what is the real elixir of life. To sustain our life, we need elixir, and we drink that elixir every day. And what is it? So C.V. Raman gives us beautiful explanation about this elixir and its speciality and how it is being used, how it should be preserved, all those things. Okay, now we straight away we enter into the lesson today. Due to some reasons, I'm unable to come to the online class. So kindly listen to this audio and please try to understand the text. Come to page number 17 from the first book, The Elixir of Life. Men has through the ages sought in vain for an imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita, to confer immortality. So to get immortality means a life without death, ever living. That is called immortality, without death. So in order to live long, men has through the ages sought in vain. So men has tried several methods to sustain, to maintain their health without decaying. Okay, so for an imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita. So divine Amrita is something that will not allow you to die. Okay, you will live as immortal beings. Okay, men have sought, but they have never found it out. But the true elixir of life lies near to our hands, for it is the commonest of all liquids, plain water. So, what is the divine Amrita actually? So, it is at our hand reach. It is nothing other than the commonest of all liquid. The commonest means the common. The commonest means that is the superlative of all liquids, that is plain water. So plain water is said to be the divine elixir according to C.V. Raman. I remember one day standing on the line which separates the Libyan desert from the valley of the Nile in Egypt. So one day C.V. Raman was just standing near to river Nile, where he sees the Libyan desert and the banks of river Nile. So it is the river Nile that is just close to the Libyan desert. On the one side it is desert, on the other side it is long and wide river Nile. On one side was visible a sea of billowing sand without a speck of green or a single living thing anywhere visible on it, while on the other side lay one of the greenest, most fertile and densely populated areas to be found anywhere on earth. On the one side, what do you see? The Libyan desert, where there is no human beings, no greenery, not even a single living thing exists. You cannot see anything. So they lay abandoned, and there's nothing of life there in that Libyan desert. But on the other side, you see the river Nile, which is very fertile, where people are thickly populated, and there is a lot of vegetation and life, the sprouting of life, the celebration of life is there. Okay, full of life and vegetation, lot of vegetation and full of life. What made this wonderful difference? Why it is the water of the river Nile flowing down to the Mediterranean from its source a couple of thousands of miles away. So This river Nile is slowly flowing to where? To the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so the water of river Nile is flowing. Okay, and that water of river Nile makes the wonderful difference. Third paragraph. Geologists tell us that the entire soil of the river Nile is the creation of the river itself. So, geologist means one who studies about the sand, the soil, and all those things. Okay, the landscape and everything. So, those people tell us that the entire soil of river Nile is the creation of the river itself. It is the river that created the entire fertile soil. It was brought down as the finest silt in its flood waters from the highest highlands of um, Abyssinia and from the remote Central Africa, and laid down through the ages in the through trough through which the river Nile flows into the sea. Okay, now it is why the banks of river Nile is fertile, because the floods carry silt. The finest sand is being carried by the flood and it is deposited on the banks of the river Nile. Okay, from where the water comes? It comes from the Abyssinia and remote Central Africa. So from Central Africa and from Abyssinia, that area, from that area the flood comes and takes all the silt, all the rich silt, the mud that contains a lot of manure is being carried by the by river Nile and deposited on the either side of the river Nile. Okay, and that is how the entire area of or the both the banks of the river Nile is fertile. Okay, Egypt in fact was made by its river. So Egypt, it is said that Egypt is made by the river Nile. Its river means it is river Nile. Its ancient civilization was created and is sustained by the life-giving waters which comes down year after year with unfailing regularity. So it is this water that carries life, that facilitate the life of that particular area. I give this example for the paragraph. I give this example and could give more others to emphasize that this common substance which we take for granted is our everyday life in the most potent and the most wonderful thing on the face of our earth. So this water is the most potent and most wonderful thing on the face of earth. Without water the earth cannot exist. I give this example and could give many more other to emphasize that it is this common substance. What is the common substance? This water. This common substance which we take for granted. Which we take for granted means water. Oh, water. What is the use of water? Is I know that take for granted. Okay, in our everyday life, in our everyday life we take for granted this particular water, and that is the most potent and wonderful thing. You think of a place without water. Okay, we cannot live even one day without water, isn't it? So that is why this water is called a divine amrita. It has played a role of vast significance in shaping the course of the earth's history and continues to play a leading role in the drama of life in the surface of our planet. So the role played by water in shaping the countries in the history of earth, um, so in the the leading role it plays in the drama of life. So all these, and we cannot disregard this fact. That means water is the main agent that makes the earth move on, that makes the human beings live on, that makes the animals go on, exist. So water is very important. So this lesson is all about the significance of water, the importance of water. Okay, we will see the rest of the essay in the coming classes. Kindly listen to this audio several times and just open your textbook and take page number 17 and kindly listen to this audio and go through the text. Okay, today due to some reason I could not come for the online classes, so kindly listen to this audio and make your classes. Okay, God bless you. Thank you.